Hey, left, right, out. So they had the emergency vote in Canada, and it passed in the House of Commons. Now they have a Senate it has to go to get uh, voted on again or ratified, just like ours, I guess, or parallel, kind of like ours. And there's another House. But this is, like I said before, I don't like to use Nazi as a comparison. Everybody uses that, and they deprive that comparison of any meaning, right? But this is reminiscent of a reichstag fire because he claimed that this, trucker convoy was such a band of rabble rousers, misogynist, racist, or whatnot. They were illegal, which it doesn't matter whether you agree with the truckers or not. You should agree with the right to protest. And you should disagree with the use of an emergency act suspending civil liberties and suspending their form of the Constitution. So if we look, you can just do a little search on this. Look at what happened after the Reichstag fire. 4 weeks later, Hitler becomes chancellor. He starts blaming it on the communists. He then gets them to elect him emergency powers, suspending civil liberties, so he could go after these communists. So, I mean, this is a parallel. Now, what happens afterwards? Here's the other thing. So, even if they take this away, let's say he uses it, he actually gives the powers back, right? Well, his finance minister or whatever, they're already trying to say this is going to be permanent action with regards to the financial side of things. That is, I don't even know what to say about that. That's craziness. But let's look at it this way. Let's say he lays that power down. From now on, anybody that even thinks about dissenting against the Canadian government will always have that in the back of their mind, because that Rubicon has been crossed. That power grab has happened. Anytime there's any kind of dissident action, whether it's justified or not, that's always going to be on the shelf, that action. And it's easier and easier to grab it. And eventually that becomes the hammer and everything starts looking like nails. So you better watch out, Canada. And we better watch out, because we have the inclinations of a similar attitude with regard to some of our politicians. So I pray for Canada. And I'm really serious about the asylum thing. If we could take our brothers and sisters from there to bring them down here and allow them to at least live in some semblance of freedom, or they can go to a free state, is what I call them. But it is the parallels. Now, like the famous person once said, is not Santayana, because he said history, if you don't know history, you're condemned to repeat it. But I can't remember who said it. History doesn't repeat, it rhymes. So you're not going to get the Hitler the same way that Hitler came up. But there will be a parallel version of that. And he'll have his own enemies. And I think we're starting to see that. So here's the thing about people that are on crusades like that, or like this. Once their enemy is vanquished, they rarely lay down the sword. There's always demons to slay, and there's always another crusade to go on. And eventually the people that supported their MPs or their representatives in this, eventually the sword will be turned on them. And then what? So I'll leave you with that.